So this is a bit of an impromptu video. So I'm online a few minutes ago, and I just read this article that talks about how the U.S. is deporting Mr. Garcia, the father and husband from Maryland, to Uganda. Um, and it's it's embarrassing at this point, like what's happening in our country. It's to the point where, you try to be optimistic and you try to say, all right, let's see how this plays out. Or, you try to be fair. I mean, personally as an independent, I try to just be well informed. I try not to subscribe to this or to that. I simply try to collect information. That way I can make my own decisions, come to my own conclusions. But in this case, this just seems extremely wrong. I mean, here you have a man who's a husband, who's a father, and I don't know the details exactly. Maybe, you could look at this video and say, you don't know what you're talking about. This is a completely ignorant statement or what have you. But one thing I do know is that this man is not from Uganda. This man may have never even been to Uganda. They are purposefully sending this man to Uganda because he, wouldn't take whatever deal they were offering him. Remember, this is the same guy who was sent to that infamously terrible prison, I think somewhere in South America. Forgive me for not knowing everything about what's going on. I find myself so upset and so angry in this moment that I can't even kind of think straight. Because as a father, we don't always do the right things, right? We make mistakes, and maybe at some point in his life he was involved with X, Y, and Z. But what's happening right now feels more about making an example out of him and punishing him for not taking some deal that they wanted him to take. It seems more about, embarrassing him and for the Trump administration to not admit that they were wrong in pursuing some outlandish claims against this guy, because when the judge ordered them to bring him back to the United States, I feel strongly like it was all about, well, you know what? Let's find something to nail this guy with. We don't want to look stupid. We don't want to look foolish, but they don't realize how foolish they already look. It breaks my heart and it makes me so angry, because this can't be what making our country great again looks like. We're a country of immigrants. That is just facts. We are a country of immigrants. But somehow we've forgotten that. Somehow we're turning our backs on each other. And somehow we're just at a point where we are willing to send people to strange lands that they've probably never been to, than to say, you know what, we got it wrong, but we were trying to do the right thing. I mean, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. They are just doing things, this roundup of all of these, our immigrant population is so violent and so cruel and so nasty that it can't be justified. Thanks for listening. Let's see where this goes.